Hello tiny humans, and welcome back to Art with Miss Wilkin. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make this super cool Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year dragon. So all you're going to need is some paper, some glue, some scissors, and then something to draw or color with, because we're going to end up needing to color in the fire and the eyes. So I am going to start with one piece of red paper that I cut in half long ways, so tall. A white half sheet of paper, it can be any kind of white paper. This is what we're going to use to make the details on our dragon. And then I took four pieces of construction paper and cut them into strips. And this is how I'm going to make the body part of my dragon, where this paper chain is. So gather your materials and let's get started. Alright, so like I said, all you're going to need is scissors, glue, something to color with, and then I have a pen here that I'm going to draw the outlines to cut out, but you can easily just use a pencil as well. And then I have one piece of red construction paper. You can choose whatever color you like. This is going to be for the head of your dragon, and then for the little details on your dragon. A half sheet of white paper, you won't need more than a half sheet, and then colored paper cut into strips. You can decide how large you want your strips to be. Mine are about 2 inches wide, and I find that it makes it a little bit easier to make a loop and match another one through it when they're a little bit larger. So the first thing we're going to do is actually make our paper chain. So grab your strips of paper. I would like to make mine in a pattern, so I'm going to put my paper in 2 different piles, and I'm going to go from one to the other. So in order to make a paper chain, you start with a strip of paper, whatever size you have. You're going to put a little bit of glue on one end, then you're going to roll it and pinch. And I usually like to count to 3 to make sure that it really sticks. Then I'm going to put this one down. I'm going to pick up a green, and I'm going to do almost the same thing. I'm going to start by putting my glue on one side, but instead of looping and sticking, I'm actually going to put it through my first link in my chain, and then I'm going to loop it around and stick it together so that they are stuck together. And I'm going to keep doing this until I run out of paper or I decide that my chain is long enough. Alright, so I think I've made a good enough chain at least to start my dragon on, but you can make your chain as long as you like. I'm going to set it aside to dry, and I'm going to start working on the head of my dragon. So in order to do the head of my dragon, what I want to start with is that long half sheet of red paper, or whatever color you've chosen, and I'm going to fold it in half, short end to short end, so it's going to look like this. Good, almost like you would fold a book or a card. Then I'm going to take just about an inch on the side with the fold, not the open side, because that's where his mouth is going to be, and fold it over, do a nice good crease, and then I want it to stand up so that it makes an L shape like this. And this is where we're going to put the eyes of our dragon. So to do the eyes and the other features, I'm going to take my white paper, I'm going to grab a pen or a pencil, and I'm going to draw my eyes, my teeth, and my fire that's going to come out of his nose. The easiest way to do this is to start with a circle shape for one eye, and you can either fold when you cut this to cut 2 at a time, or just do your best to match it. So there we go. I've got 2 eyes, and it's okay if they're not perfect. I'm going to do teeth. Now, I want to leave a little bit of space before the points of my teeth because I'm going to fold my edge so that it'll sit inside my dragon's mouth. So to do that, I'm going to start a little bit higher. I'm going to do some points for the teeth. I'm going to take my dragon head, make sure that they will fit. So I'm going to draw a line down. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom teeth. Start a little bit higher. Awesome. And then the last thing I'm going to draw is my fire. And to draw fire, we kind of like to do some swirly lines that come together in a point. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to make a wavy line like that. And then I'm going to go back down, and then U-shape, back up to a point and back down. And that gives us a flame kind of shape. You can also draw flames more like a burst, like you would see coming out of the bottom of a rocket, or if a dragon is breathing fire really forcefully, you can do a shape like this, and then create a second matching shape on the inside. I'm going to do this for both kinds of flames. And this is where you'll color in with 2 different colors. So I might do red and orange, or orange and yellow, to give my flame a little bit more dimension, or a little bit more depth, right, to make it look a little more realistic. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color everything in that I want colored, and then I'm going to cut it out. Alright, so now that I've colored in what I want to color, I'm going to go ahead and cut everything out. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We definitely want to make sure that we cut the teeth in one piece instead of going for each individual teeth. It will make it easier for us to glue in later. Alright, so now I have all my pieces. I'm going to glue them onto my dragon head. I'm going to start with the eyes, and they're going to go up on this folded edge, so I'm going to put 2 dots of glue on there. Go ahead and stick my eyes on. Good. The flames here are going to come out of his nose that we're going to make. So I'm going to glue them kind of towards the front. And then with the teeth, I'm going to fold them around where the line is that they all meet for this larger section. So I'm going to fold it over to give myself a flat edge that I'll be able to put glue on. Then do the same thing with these ones. And then I'm going to open up my dragon's mouth, and I'm going to glue his top and bottom teeth in. And really stick it down. Same with our bottom teeth. Alright, so now our dragon has some nice chompy teeth. Alright, so the last thing we gotta make before we attach our dragon to his body is some flames or some feathers or fur to go behind his head, whatever you want to make it look like, and a tongue and a nose. So again, I'm going to take my pen to draw my shapes. This paper is the same width, right, the same thickness as his head, so I don't need to measure. I'm going to make some flame shapes to glue behind his eyes. Like this. His nose, I'm going to give myself a little bit of room so that I'll be able to fold it. And then I'm going to do a B shape with 2 little lines inside. And then I'm going to give him kind of a silly tongue. Alright, so now that I've drawn everything, I'm going to cut it out. Alright, so now I'm going to add my nose. I'm going to take this B shape that I've cut. I'm going to fold it just like I did with my teeth. I'm going to put some glue on this flat edge. And I'm going to glue it right where the fire is coming out. Like that. Right? These flame shapes are going to go on the back of his head. And then of course his tongue is going to go in his mouth, and I'm going to have it sticking out the side a little bit. Alright, so now all we have to do is attach him to his body. Alright, so to attach him to his body, you can use a couple different things. You can use glue, you can use tape, you can use a stapler, whatever is easiest. If you choose to use glue, you definitely want to give him time to dry before you start moving him around. So, to attach him, I'm going to put some glue on my closest link to my chain. I'm going to put a good amount of glue. I really want him to stick. And then I'm going to stick it to the back of his head, like so. And I'm going to press as hard as I can. I'm going to hold it so that I know that it's really stuck on there. And there we go. Alright guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed making these cool Chinese New Year dragons with me. I would love to see what you guys create on your own. Definitely send me pictures if you give this project a try. And remember, you don't have to have all of these materials to be able to do this project. Any kind of paper will work. Anything to color with will work. You just got to give it a shot. I cannot wait to see what you create, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!